Y Combinator isn't for Indian startups, and that's a hard pill for a lot of Indian founders to swallow, but it's the truth. Here's why. So Y Combinator invests $500,000, and $125,000 of this is for a fixed 7%, and the other $375,000 is invested on an uncapped MFN safe. But there's a catch, because YC only invests in corporations registered in the United States, the Cayman Islands, Singapore, and Canada. So if you're an Indian startup, if you're registered as a private limited company here in India, you won't be accepted into YC unless you flip your corporate structure to have a parent company in one of those 4 countries. And the number of Indian startups in YC has been on the decline since 2021, with their summer 2024 batch having the lowest Indian representation in years. But the good news is that India does have some great alternatives to Y Combinator, and unlike YC, these accelerators let you register your business in India. Take for example Peak 15 Surge, which has been around since 2019 and currently has applications open for their 11th cohort. And unlike YC, which is a 12-week program, Surge is a 16-week program, and it's also intentionally small and curated, usually between 10 and 20 companies per cohort, compared to Y Combinator's huge batches, which are typically upwards of 200 companies. And YC also writes checks of about $500,000, whereas Surge invests as much as $3 million into participating companies. And I want to highlight a story here from Jitendra Chowdhury, the founder of Fitter. He got into YC, but after the initial hype died down, he found himself feeling suffocated by the heavy focus on impressing investors, because that's where YC makes money. Remember that $375,000 uncapped MFN safe that I mentioned earlier? Well, that safe only converts if you raise subsequent funding. So everything that happens at YC is intended to maximize your chances of raising that round, even if it means severely altering your product or your service, which is what happened to Jitendra. They wanted him to stop focusing on his community, which was the core of his business, so he quit. He left YC after 3 weeks, flew back to India, and after some due diligence, he got into Surge. Jitendra said that the agreement given to him by Surge was extremely founder-friendly, and the format that the accelerator followed was very different from YC. He said that it was more cozy, there were no fixed hours, and he was given access to a network of people from legal, PR, hiring, social media, and tech who were all just a message away. And looking back, he said YC was all about impressing investors, whereas Surge was all about focusing on the business and customers. Hit subscribe if you found this interesting.